That reminds me of beer. I wish I had a cold beer right now. Hey, thanks. Wish I knew how this beer was made.
I love beer. It makes me older. I'm always playing around with different yeast types when I'm brewing at home. Fermented on different temperatures. This is Kveik, ancient Norwegian yeast type. Cheers.
Whoa, I felt like an old coffee buyer all of a sudden. Hi, good day. Welcome to another episode for Fermenty Experimenty. This is episode number 4. We'll discuss a little bit about carbonic maceration and skin contact, two terms actually borrowed from the wine industry. And then we'll also make a recipe with lacto-fermented grapes. So carbonic maceration is a process used in the wine industry, where the whole grapes are fermented in carbon dioxide rich environment. With carbonic maceration you would use the whole grapes without actually crushing them first. In conventional wine making you would crush the grapes first and then let it ferment in the pulp and in the skin. The yeast already present on the skin of the grape will then start converting those sugars into ethanol or alcohol. So with carbonic maceration, most of the juice is fermented while still inside of the grape. Because of the weight of all the grapes, you can imagine like a huge barrel to have all the grapes inside. And because of the weight, some of the grapes on the bottom will start to crush a little bit and already speed up the process of creating a different environment. What this does is that the yeasts are converting the sugars and also as a byproduct creating the carbon dioxide. This gas will slowly push out all the oxygen in the barrel and then create an anaerobic environment. In some cases, this process is helped by pumping carbon dioxide into the barrel or whatever tank you're using to ferment. Because this process is so aligned or close to what we think of what an anaerobic is, it caused some confusion when we wanted to explain it to customers or even among the team, and therefore we decided not to use it. Skin contact, or also known as skin pulped coffees, is another term basically used from the wine industry, which they also use maceration as a word, where you macerate the grapes with all the skin and all the pulp in the same liquid. Here the coffee is first depulped, but instead of throwing away the fruit and the skin, which you usually would do, it would be sidetracked into another channel. You would keep that apart from the same cherries, and when adding the parchment to the fermentation tank to start fermenting, you would add back the skins and the pulp. The coffee, after it's done fermenting in the tanks, will then simply be finished as a washed coffee, so rinsing it and then drying it like a washed coffee. So we're gonna make a recipe where we're gonna lacto-ferment these grapes. I'll first show you. These are the grapes, already weighed out. So carbonic maceration would kind of start here. So they would just throw the grapes in the barrel. Imagine a big barrel. Imagine much more grapes. Where the weight of the grapes would actually already crush the grapes and start the fermentation process in the bottom, and then the fermentation would start releasing the carbon dioxide and creating this oxygen poor environment that I mentioned earlier. What we're gonna do now to actually ferment these grapes is first adding some salt. Non-iodized salt, so not to inhibit the growth of the bacteria, because you want to create an environment where the lactobacillus bacteria can do its work and can strive. That's why we add the salt. So we can just add the salt simply to this, shake it a little bit. All right, before we continue, we need some coffee. All right. Then we have this bag just as a weight to keep the grapes down. So just put it in there. Add your water so it actually stays. Alright, so we can just close this. And then fill up the jar with some water. Great, that's it. The little plastic bag is simply there to make sure that the grapes stay on there. So that they are in an anaerobic environment. The salt will make sure that the lactobacillus can do its work and start fermenting these grapes. Afterwards you will have still a very crunchy grape, and it's going to taste amazing, slightly funky, exactly what you want. And you can do the same for coffee, add a little bit of salt and everything will be better. I'm just kidding, don't add salt to your coffee. But for fruits, anything you're going to make at home is going to taste amazing. For any kind of food, maybe add it to a little Indian curry or whatever. If I would want to make a skin pulped coffee, I would depulp the coffee before it would go into the fermentation vessel. Depulp it, remove the skin and the pulp, but save it. And then add the parchment to the fermentation tank, and then re-add the skin and the pulp back to the fermentation tank. And then you would have a skin pulped coffee. The way we would do this now, the similar version would be carbonic maceration. Basically, you would have the whole grapes or the whole coffee cherry in the fermentation tank with the entire grape intact. So that's it for this Nordic Approach cooking show. I hope to see you in the next episode. Oh yeah, forgot to do the outro. Yeah, so thanks for watching again. Next episode we're gonna do lactic anaerobics and saccharic anaerobics, and yeah, I'd say join us again, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and have a good day. Don't forget to smile. Later.